Always getting caught up in your rage, and I'm the one who's bruised by all your pain. And babe, I'm so tired of all of this trying, and I've lost my mind. All this cruelness to be kind. Why's it gotta feel so good to hurt me? Why's it gotta taste so sweet to fight? I'm running and I'll never stay. I'm never gonna take the pain. Baby, you got sin in your skin. So don't you call me when you're down.
So the dentist was looking at me sideways. And she was just like, were you there when this happened? I was like, think about how you answer this question, Key. Think about how you answer this question. It's like, yes, I was there. She was like, did you see any of this happening? I was like, all right. In my mind, I'm thinking, all right, I want to say, yes, I saw this happening. And then she's going to ask me what happened. And then I'm going to have to tell her what happened. And in the midst of me telling her what happened, I know she's going to alert CPS. I don't know what's going to happen to King. And then I'm here with King and Kion and Jackson's in school. And if it's alerted, like, Darren could catch wind of that alert and go to the school and pick up Jackson, and then it could be a big mess. So I'm just like, But on the other hand, if I say I didn't see it, she just has to go off the story that I gave her, and the story doesn't make sense. So she's going to report it anyway, because it don't make sense. She's going to report it. So I'm going to just say, no, I didn't see it, so that she can report it just based on it, the story not making sense. And then that'll give me time to get to the house, get Jackson, and get everything settled before we get a call from CPS, because I know the call is going to come. That'll get me a chance to get everything settled. I figure out the car situation later, like when he's tracking my car. I figure that out later. So I look at I'm like, I didn't see it, but we have cameras in the backyard. Okay, good. Mention the cameras in the backyard. So if she just like, did you look at the footage? And I can be like, I don't know if there's footage. Again, it sounds sketchy. So I'm like, yeah. She was like, okay. Was the camera able to capture anything? I was like, I tried to pull up on the app like the camera footage from back there, because anytime there's motion in the backyard, it tells us that there's motion and it records. So I was looking at the footage and I didn't see that footage, but his dad said that it was in the back. It happened in the backyard. The dog brushed up against him and he fell on the concrete. The camera points down at the concrete. She was like, okay, all right. So they started examining King and everything. And she was just like, yeah, it's gonna look like we're gonna have to do surgery. We have to surgically remove it. She's like, but good thing is, I looked at the x-ray, it hasn't impacted any of his adult teeth. So his adult teeth still should come in just fine. And I was like, okay, all right. And I was like, so when we're going to have to come back tomorrow to do that surgery? She said, no, we have to send him to a pediatric war surgeon. We have to refer him out. I was like, okay, so how long is this going to take? Like, what do I do in the meantime about his gums? Like, what do I do? She was like, well, we can give you some antibiotic cream to put on it and just give him, like, rotate between Tylenol and Motrin for the pain. I'm like, okay, all right. So I leave out, get that appointment scheduled, and it wasn't until a few days. It was like 3 days later when he was actually able to have that surgery. So we go back to the house. I pick up Jax, go back home, and I'm just like, I'm anticipating a call from CPS. Like I'm anticipating. D come home. He come home early. And I was just like, oh, you're home. around 4 o'clock when he came home. Normally he's home at 10. So the fact that he was there at 4, I'm just like, whew, okay, you're here early. It's about to be some issues. Like what's up? So I sent the kids upstairs because the kids was downstairs. We was watching TV, like just having our little family time before I started to cook dinner at 5. So D came in. I sent the kids upstairs, and he sit down on the sofa. He was like, "Look, we need to talk." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "What'd you tell the dentist?" I said, "I told the dentist exactly what you told me." I said, "His dad said he was outside playing with the dogs. The dog brushed up behind him, and he hit his face in the concrete." He was like, "You said it just like that?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "So you said his dad said?" I said, "Yeah." I told her that his dad said that he was playing outside, the dog brushed up behind him, and he hit his face on the concrete. He's like, "But why would you say his dad said?" I'm like, "Because you said it." I mean, you said it. I'm like, what do you want me to do? He's like, "So did she say anything? Did she do anything?" I'm like, "No, she's told me that his surgery, he got to have surgery to get his teeth, removed and his little gum fixed. It has to be a surgical thing, and that's in a few days." He's like, "Okay, so what do we do till then?" I'm like, "I don't know. We just wait for his surgery. Okay, we just wait for his surgery." He was like, "Okay. So how the little nigga feeling?" I'm like, "I don't know. Maybe you should ask him, D. Ask him to come downstairs and ask him how he feeling." And D just kind of like cut his eyes at me, and I'm just, I don't know what you want from me, massa. Because what you want from me at this point? So he was like, "Hey, King, come here." King come downstairs. "Yes, Dad?" And I'm just like, ugh, I hate the fact that you call him Dad. Because that's not fucking Dad. It's not a fucking dad. He look at King, and I'm just like, "You okay?" He just nodded his head, and he lifted up his hand. When he lifted up his hand, I'm just like, "Nigga, if you slap this baby, I'm about to punch the shit out you. Like, yo, I'm ready today. I am ready." He lifted up his hand and gently put his hand on King's cheek. And then he was just like, "Open your mouth. Let me see." And King opened his mouth. He was like, "Ooh, yeah, it do look bad." And then King closed his mouth. And he looked at him. He was just like, "I need you to start listening to me. It's like, I know you're a little bit slow. And you're not all the way there. Because your mama not all the way there. But I need you to start listening to me." And I'm like, what kind of fucked up ass apology is that? Like, what? That ain't no damn, that ain't no apology. It's like, you see, you gotta listen to me. What the fuck? I understand you're slow, but listen to me. What? So, King just looking at D, and D was just like, "Does it hurt?" And King's like, "No." And I'm like, the fact that he's lying right now when he know that shit hurt, it's like, fuck. Okay, all right. He was just like, "All right, go back upstairs and play. Go play with your brothers." And then King ran off. And D looked at me. He was just like, "Did you give him anything for it?" I'm like, you went all day not being concerned about King's mouth. You did this to his mouth. You waited until you got home. Even though you came home early, you waited to ask me how he was doing and what the doctor said. And you got the nerve to sit up here and ask me if I gave him anything for his mouth? Like, of course I fucking did. I look at him like, "Yep, I put some cream on it and I gave him some Tylenol." He was just like, "Oh, okay." It was like, "You okay?" It's like, "I'm peachy, D." Like I'm good. And he looked at me, he was just like, I'm sorry it got so heated. I'm like, it's fine, it's cool, it's all right. He was like, no, I'm sorry things got so heated. And I know I need to do better. Like, I know I need to do better. It's like, but this business is just stressing me out. It's driving me crazy, all these clients. And I'm just like, yep. He was like, so I was thinking, how about you come on as a trainer? And I'm like, I look at him like, what do you mean, come on as a trainer? He was like, I'm trying to convince Cook to, come on and be one of the trainers on the DC Ultra Fitness, but he trying to do this other little stupid job selling fucking cell phones. Like, what kind of man, like in his late 20s, want to sell fucking cell phones?